Indigenous people have a distinct collective experience because of contact and colonialism and the long-lasting legacy of things like residential school, 60s scoop, child welfare, Indian Act. It's had far-reaching implications that still impact people today. Healing hasn't occurred in a lot of cases. Families have been separated. People have been separated from their culture, their language, their spirituality, their sense of place.
I was in and out of shelters. Often the shelter would be full, so I'd often be outside. So yeah. That's where I was before. Yeah.
It was pretty chaotic. A lot of prison time, a lot of being on the streets, a lot of addiction problems between alcohol and heroin and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's me and my girlfriend. We used to keep trying and trying for apartments, and there was no go.
How long have you been here?
About 5 or 6 months I've been living here.
And where do you think you would be without this?
I'd probably be homeless and still using drugs, still drinking and doing bad things.
Often you hear of us talked about as, dispossessed people. And so what's different is we have a unique history. There really is somewhat of a collective consciousness that occurs, and we all have this longing and hunger and knowledge of something bigger as to who we are.
Well, what makes it different is the programs that are offered to us. Like, we got to make drums, we got to paint on paddles, we got to get out on a canoe. Basically, the programs that are going are working well for me, and it helps me reconnect with my heritage, and because I'm an artist and I'm starting to do artwork more again, and I get support from the program. Yeah, so it really helps me with carry on. Yeah.
I actually started to care about what I was putting into my body. They also have fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff that they give you every week. They have a place for you to eat downstairs if you don't have any food. You have a place to sleep. They give you a brand new bed to sleep in. I've never had a brand new bed before.
Well, in this program, they have a native elder come in once or twice a week, do lots of cooking, which I quite enjoy. Just the love that she brings with her, as well as the stories that Auntie Lo has to offer. Just her presence alone, Auntie Lo is, powerful. Just the aura, the energy.
Omens Numma, we are one. I work with people from North Island, from the kwakwaka'wakw speaking people, Nuchanuth, Coast Salish, we have Inuit, we have Métis. So when they come here, we have created a family space. This is our family room. I don't shake hands in this room. I hug. And I had one cohort family member finally tell me, he said, you know, Auntie Glo, when I used to come in here and you gave me a hug, he said, it made me uncomfortable. He said, because I wasn't used to that. He said, but now I like it.
Elders for the Aboriginal Coalition to seek out their knowledge and see what would be the best way to touch our hearts and get us to actually listen. You know, we respect what an elder says. It's all about respect, right? So if you have, for instance, a homeless person saying, hey, what would your elders think about what you're doing right now? Like if somebody says that to me, what would your granny think? You know, it'd make you think twice about what you were doing.
It just feels safe and supported, and they always help out, and I help out, and yeah, I think
the fact that I've made it this far is pretty amazing for me, so I look forward to getting back into my culture, to continue my drawing. I do lots of drawing and stuff. At the moment it's the heroin that keeps me down, but I've been working the last 2 years to get off it, so I know what needs to be done and how to do it.
So you ask what's next? Well, I think I'd like people to understand that we are a lifeline, but to consider statistics from a shelter in the city of Victoria, so patterns of shelter use. Indigenous people account for 4.8% of the total population in our area, but they make up 31% of chronic shelter users. Wrap your mind around that, because it's alarming when you also consider that Indigenous people are the fastest growing population in this country, and the majority of us are under 25, not me, but Indigenous people are under the age of 25. What'll happen in the next 25 years? There isn't housing on reserve. My community, as an example, hasn't built a new house for a couple of decades. It's not unheard of to hear that people have been on housing wait lists in the communities for 15 years. So there are a number of things that have to happen. We want to provide that help. We want to do the research. We want to pilot programs that we can then bring that information forward to Indigenous communities, urban communities, and say, evidence-based information has told us this is what we need to do.
I thank Fran's resilience in her dedication. She's behind the scenes, and I know she's probably under a microscope to see if this works, but it has. It is. Your heart is strong.
Yes, that's what my mother said. Spirit is strong.
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.